As you continue down the walk, you cannot miss the memorials for World War II. The modern world is still living with the consequences of World War II, the most titanic conflict in history. Coming just 2 decades after the last great global conflict, the Second World War was the most widespread and deadliest war in history, involving more than 30 countries. Casualties are the brutal reality of warfare. World War II was the deadliest military conflict in history, in absolute terms of total dead. 17 million civilians died, and 16 million soldiers gave their lives in this conflict. There are 2 sets of memorials flanking on both sides of Soldier Walk to articulate the sheer size and scope of World War II. The Iwo Jima Memorial depicts the historic moment of the American flag being raised on the island of Iwo Jima. On the south side of the walk, you are first greeted with a plaque in the concrete memorializing those local men that fought in World War II. As you look up, you'll see the first monument that briefly summarizes the war. On the back side of that monument is a tribute to Walter Becker, a local man from Independence, Wisconsin, who was the most decorated World War II veteran in the area. Becker was a tank platoon leader in the Army's 2nd Armored Division, also known as Hell on Wheels, serving under General George S. Patton. The 2nd Armored Division participated in the invasions of North Africa and Sicily and the liberation of France, Belgium, the Netherlands, and the invasion of Germany. Becker had 3 tanks blown out from under him, and the only wound he suffered was when he accidentally cut his knee on a cotter pin on one of his tanks. Becker had 3 tanks blown out from under him, and the only wound he suffered was when he accidentally cut his knee on a cotter pin when he was coming down off one of his tanks. He walked with a limp his whole life and refused to receive any type of disability for his wound because, as he said, if I would have been paying attention, the accident would never have happened. Becker was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross, 2 Silver Stars, 1 with 5 Bronze Service Clusters, American Defense Service Medal, and many, many more heroic accommodations. Behind this monument that's surrounded by benches, you can sit and read the enormous amount of educational information and strategic maps that are inscribed in this memorial. You will see the primary memorial is divided into 4 sections. Left to right, the first section shows the map of the world where the United States gave Lend-Lease aid throughout the world and how much we gave to each country. Americans did not want to enter into a new war and instead gave financial and military aid to those involved in the conflicts. That was called Lend-Lease. The next section of the memorial is dedicated to the European theater. It explains key moments that led up to World War II and shows the geographical divisions of the Allied powers versus the Nazi regime. The third part of the memorial is dedicated to the Pacific Theater. It is an intricate map showing how the Japanese planned to take over Asia and has key strategic information inscribed in the memorial. The fourth and final part of the memorial is dedicated to the North African campaign. It is titled Seesaw Across the Continent, depicting key battles and strategies that took place in this region.